Welcome to One Word a Day. I'm Sophie, piloting to the universe of Chinese. Let's continue exploring 大, big, lookalikes. Okay, so now this time we have this big with the stroke diagonally going, and by the width of the stroke, it's not even, right? We can tell this is the beginning of your brush. That's Chinese characters, Chinese words used to be brushed down on a absorbent paper, and by the width of it we can see, okay, that the initial drop is thicker brush created, and then it tapers off when you lift the brush. Okay, so this diagonal line added to the top of the concept of big make it a completely different meaning. Actually means young, and this concept of young doesn't occur in contemporary Chinese that often. Well, I guess I was wrong. I'm going to show you the examples, but it was often paired with death. So in my mind, yao almost always like, okay, it's related to death. But in fact, it means die young. And so it still holds the meaning of young. So how young was expressed? Because we talked about a few episodes of grown man, okay? It's this big frontal view guy with the hair pinned down. That's the look of a grown man. And here we have this head bend. If this is a human figure, then we have this head bend actually backward. Okay, because Chinese have leftward facing character. So now I know here, bending toward the right means backward bending, actually. So we have the big concept like this with the binder to make it bigger than the original. Okay, that's the relative bigger, simplified into big, and big with the head supposedly bend backwards. According to scholars, because I don't really have insight of why this way. According to scholars, this is a human figure instead of this abstract creation of this big concept, like placing two pieces together. And also, these two pieces, what these two pieces are, like that's a mystery to be solved. So this binder saying, instead of this abstract concept of creating something big by combining two parts together, here scholars are saying, okay, this is a frontal view of a starfish figure. And then with a head bend. Now, with my knowledge, I know it's bent backward. And this head bending, I guess, instead of standing tall, right? Here, head bend almost create a posturally imagery of somebody who is not firm, doesn't have a strong core kind of thing. And also describes in our concept of yi, kind of Chinese zigzag character that describes the plant trying to go underground to find a zigzag way above the ground. And here we're using this human figure to have the head bend, almost in a similar description of this early human development stage of struggle. It's not straightforward. You don't have the full power, full understanding yet. So you have your head bend. I mean, I tend to bend my head a lot, like this way. As soon as I'm trying to understand something and to show that I don't really know, I will bend like that. And I guess that's, a signature as people read body language as, okay, you're not sure, like you're not confident. And hopefully that's associated with young. But Chinese capture that human behavior into this head bending to associate that with the concept of young, inexperienced, green. Okay, so this yao, we have yao zhe. This is the expression that in contemporary Chinese, if you see this character, most likely you see this expression. Simply means premature death, like somebody who is still young, not a grown man yet. So in today's scale would be under 18, but in ancient Chinese scale, probably under, 15, something like that. Means before you come to maturity. You died young. 折 have this hand holding an axe, like one swing of axe, you're kind of break apart that kind of brutal force. But with Chinese often use that to mean you break something apart. And so 夭折 means die young. Now we have 夭夭折折. Okay, so first off, Chinese have no problems repeating the same character. And in this case, I am very happy to find this expression because it's not in my vocabulary. I don't say 夭夭折折. And because I kind of check up on this in the dictionary, 夭夭折折 was recorded in there. Actually, is equivalent of English zigzag because 折 have this breaking. That means it's not a straight line. It's going to this very sharp angle. And 腰 also have this bending of the head, this bend. So this bend, bend, break, break. And that's a Chinese way to say zigzag. So in that expression, even if it shared the exact same characters with 夭折, just by repeating, give a rhythm of it, just like a zigzag. It has a rhythm of it, right? It's alliteration. Chinese repeat 夭夭折折, give it a shape of things, how things would zigzagging. So it has nothing to do with die young anymore. Okay, 桃之夭夭, 桃, peach. Okay, peach. 之 is this possessive descriptor connecting thing. So unlike English would have descriptor mostly adjective before noun, Chinese to connect in this structure, descriptor and the subject or object, in this case, 桃, the peach, and the 夭夭 is a descriptor of the peach. So instead of just place 夭夭桃 in front of it, which can also work, but in this particular structure, it connects by linking this possessive means the property of whatever we're describing is about this 桃 in the front, and we put the descriptor after it. So we have this, I guess, ancient Chinese like to express things to go to the subject matter first. So 桃, now we know it's about a peach. And then we hear 之, now we're going to describe it. And the 夭夭 is young, young. I just realized 夭 and young kind of sound similar too. So 桃之夭夭 describes the vibrantly growing, thriving peaches in its early age, probably also in its blooming time, just at a young, I guess, peak growth life stage of this particular peach tree. And of course, when we're talking about peach, it's nothing to do with peach. We're talking about a people. When we say 桃之夭夭, we're describing the vibrancy of this peach tree. We're actually using that to describe humans' vibrancy. And yeah, that's how Chinese use 夭 to mean young. Thank you for your time. See you another day.